Sandy Babb, and welcome to my studio, and welcome to another session of Craft With Me, Painted Birds Junk Journal. And can you believe it? We're finally ready to work on the pages. I have all the parts and pieces here with the book, all the dangles, all the paper clips, all the little extras, the extra little books. And what I've done is I've gone through this and kind of placed everything that we made throughout this series where I want it in the book, and so I'll just kind of work through that real quickly. There are a couple of additions. I will have to make a couple of extra embellishments for a couple pages, so I thought we would, sorry, trying to get my stool scooted over here. I thought we would start going through and actually attaching it and see how much we can get done, and we might even get the cover done and just be like, yay, we're done. You don't have to hang out with me anymore. Okay, so I'm going to move all this aside, and I apologize if there's any background noise. It's the weekend. I don't normally type on the weekends because it's quieter during the week, but it's just working out for today. So on the very first page, I have clipped one of the fold outs here. So this needs to be attached to the page, and it also is going to need some way of staying folded down, either a little ribbon tied around it, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a ribbon around it, or you could use string or twine. Okay, I just grabbed some sari silk and some twine to kind of see what I thought that I might like on this particular page. I'm kind of thinking the twine because it's across from the brown paper envelopes, and I do have a variety of adhesives. I've got some score tape, I have a variety of glues, I've got the hot glue gun on. You know, it depends on what you're putting where, how you need to adhere it, you know. And plus some of it, I may use some score tape just because I don't want to wait on glue to dry. So the first thing I need to do is figure out my twine. I'm going to move the rest of the book over here to the side, and I'll get it page by page as I need it. Give myself a little more room. Okay. And I think I want it to tie this way across the middle. I probably didn't need that much twine. That's okay. And so this one, I'm just going to take a little piece of score tape and hold that in place where I think I want it. I guess I could tape it to the back of the middle of here. That way I know it's in the middle. About right there. And I'll go ahead and tie that around so it holds the book while I'm adhering it. I really ended up, I was a little iffy about how is this going to turn out, because, I could kind of see it in my head, but, sometimes what's in your head and what comes out on the paper is not the same thing. And I'm very pleased with the kit and with the way the book is turning out. I really like it. Get rid of the excess there. And now to just glue this down. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use some score tape. Okay, I better stand up for this part because I can't see, and I want to make sure that I get it before I place it, that it looks pretty good. Hope my head's not in there. If it is, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to turn that over and kind of burnish it. Okay, so we've got our first little piece on there. We finally are working in the book. Okay, that's the first one. This is the second one. This one is plain for right now. Okay, so I'm going to put that one aside. Stick those up there. Here's the next one. This is one of the little booklets that we made with the little paper booklet. And I've kind of got everything clipped toward the for which side it goes on. This goes on the other side, so I'll unclip all this and put it over here. And this all goes for this side. Okay. The little booklets actually will fit in these envelopes. So both the booklets are going in the envelopes. I'm going to put those aside because I don't need them right now. I have got one of our little images, the little vintage image, one of the couple of the stickers, and the little I guess it's like a coin envelope, little coin envelope here. So I need to figure out how those are going to go on here, and I had intended to kind of do it like something like this. And I'm going to cut off, I don't know if I'm going to cut it off or cut it out around there and stick the little note part on here. So let me do a little fussy cutting on the sticker. I'm going to leave a little bit of that border color on it. Oops, I think I went crooked there. Okay. And like that. And I will ink the edges of that. Let it dry a second before I stick it on the envelope thing. Let that dry just a second. This one, I need a piece of craft card. Let me grab another piece. I think I've used all my full scraps of it. A little piece of craft card, and I'm going to stick the sticker on here, and then I'm going to cut it out. I want this to be a holder to hold the envelope closed, and so I need to have it be stiff, you know, so it holds the envelope. And gosh, I should have got a hole punched about this size and punched that thing out. It would have been a lot easier. I don't know why cutting circles is so difficult. I never can cut them exactly in a circle. Okay. Ink a little. Oops. And we'll have that there. And I need to decide if I want to do any stamping. Let me slip this piece of paper over here to the side because I know I'm probably going to need it again. Okay, that's probably had time for the sticker, the ink to kind of dry on the edges. Okay. And I'm going to put this little writing part here. And I'm just going to do this like it's just a little collage. And I don't know if I want any other paper with it, so let's see. Pull our paper scraps back and see. I don't want this to get too messy, but I have a feeling it's about to get really messy. I don't really have a vision for that. I didn't, there's that one, there it is. I might just want to do just a rugged tear. And do just a little bit of the book paper on here. And this part does get a little fiddly, and I apologize because I know it does take up time, but it's part of the process. I want that more centered. I'm wondering if I want that big giant thing of, I think it needs, there's a disconnect with the pink, because there's it's kind of that rule of three thing, you know, when you do I like it better with the fatter side going across. I actually do like it better backwards. Even if the writing's upside down, that doesn't bother me. And this is still a little fiddly, and I apologize, but it's just the way it is. I do have it sorted, I just don't have the full idea of it. I do know I want that. Maybe I don't want that image on there. Maybe I just want the little envelope. Maybe I just want an envelope on here, and not, originally I was thinking with the image, but now that I'm looking at it, I really don't want the image on there. Okay, this is getting glued down then. Bottom of this envelope. This is the back side. So I'm going to do that little collage piece. And I don't know if I want anything with that. That's my thing. I'm like, does it need to have, where's the page that's next to it? That always helps. Where's the page that's next to it? Now see, I don't need any more pink, because look at that. There's all that. Where did that little round thing go? I'll start to say, that is not supposed to disappear, people. Okay. See, now, that sometimes that makes a difference. To have the page that's next door, now I've got the color distributed evenly, and I don't feel like I need any more of that color. There for a second I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't put anything else on there. And, let's see. I think I'm going to glue this here and leave this open, glue it on 3 sides so that it's here, here, and here. And that way it's a tuck in. This way I can tuck something in the side of it. And, oh, I just left that ink open, didn't I? Let's make sure I got it right side up so I can tuck something in it and behind it. It's funny how things just kind of change once you're doing it. You know, it looks a little different. Okay. I think I'll put it about here. And there's my blotting cloth to make sure. I smell something burning. I think it's the hot glue gun. I was like, what in the world? Something smells like it's burning. Okay, so now we have a tuck under here and a tuck inside there. And I want to put this here, and I don't think I want to do anything super, since some of these are really overdone, you know, really decorated. I think I want some rest spots. The only thing I might consider doing is to tear another piece of this book, and I might do it across the top of the envelope just to bring the paper aspect of it over. Where's the edge of that? Somewhere about there. And, you know, that kind of does bring a little bit of the paper aspect over. The only thing is, I do see that I'm going to dull that paper down a little bit more. And I think I'll do this too. kind of go over the whole piece and then darken the edges. And like I said, for now, that's empty. Doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. It's just that way for now. I've kind of got everything scattered throughout the book. With the other one, let's see. Do I like that across the top, or would I want to tuck it along the side of the envelope? That's a bit more interesting, isn't it? Let's cut this off right here. I like that white area. Let's look at it here and see if that looks a bit more interesting to me. Or I could do it the same, way and do it across the bottom. I don't know. I'm in a quandary here. I could do it up, cut another piece, and do it on the top of the flap, which I like. That's what I'm doing. See, this is why you play around while you're designing. You can have an idea, but it may not be, definitively what you're going to do. You have to just kind of be open to changing your concepts and let the journal kind of tell you what it needs and what it wants. I just have to make sure I don't glue that to the flap down. Okay, I like that. Now I need another piece. I need part of this to be somewhat straight. Okay. And I'm going to end up here. So I'm going to do my tearing down this way. I'm going to start it there. Well, I need to start it up a little bit more. To here. And to here. Let's open that up, and that way I can get an idea of where to cut it. There. Okay, edge this down a little bit. Do the edges and glue that little thing on and call that part done enough right now. I'd be curious to know if anybody else does that. If you think you see it and then, it just changes as you're working. Everything just kind of goes a different way. Or am I the only oddball that happens to? Okay, let's see. Get that straight. I'm going to have to cut a couple little snips off. Little one there. And a little one there. I'll hit that with the ink. Here we go. And I want to put down just this little flower, like so. So I'm only going to glue part of it. I like to kind of lift it up and see how it's going to lay. Make sure that can flip in and out of there. Oops, where is that? I need to blot some of that glue and make sure it only glued half. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to stick that back there because I don't want it to get stuck, but pretty much I'm going to leave this alone. We'll still have something to put in here and something to put in here. So if we turn that over to the back side, let's see, this is the page that's going to face this side. So I'm going to start laying this book face down over here, try to keep track of it. I had these two things. This one I want to hold the envelope closed, so it's just a simple on here, cut out, ink, glue. Just that simple. No fancy, no anything like that. And we'll probably add some of the book page here too, which I need to get another one. I don't have another one like that. I want to use that specific page or kind. It's an old dictionary page. Okay. And then I got to be thinking about this, because I had thought about just putting it here as a tuck, or I thought about gluing it down and kind of cutting it out as a tuck spot on the envelope, which I think that's not what I want to do. Okay. I'm going to leave a little tiny bit of the edge of this craft card. Just a tiny bit. I'm kind of just fussy cutting around. And it helps that I went ahead and sorted things, because that took me the longest. I kept having to flip back and forth. And I'll get these things put in, and if the session seems like it's too long, we'll come back and finish it up. Because we still have to do the cover, you know. We haven't done the cover of the book yet. I always do that last. That's my favorite part, and I like to do it last. Okay, so see, that's done right there. So this one, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to reinforce it. So I'm going to need to glue this down onto this craft card. Ooh, my glue stick is gooey. I don't know if that got melty or something. Sure is gooey. Just going to put it down on the craft card. Furnish the back and cut it out. This is what I meant by there's going to be a few more little things that have to be added. I realized I didn't have, believe it or not, out of all the embellishments we made, I didn't feel like I had enough. So, yeah, go figure that. I'm going to cut around that part right now and cut up to the bird. And I may go back and refine that in a minute. Let me do this part first. I may leave it just like that. I like it like that. Let me cut this edges down. And this is not going to get fancy or anything like that. I'm not doing anything, I'm not going to do any layering or anything like that. I'm going to leave, I want some rest spots. I don't want it to all be so overdone that it's, you know, it's just that it's overdone, you know. So I want some rest spots in there. This is looking a little bright. I think I'm gonna ink it down. It's looking just a little bright. I like that a little better. It just blends a little better. To me, anyway, it was just a little. And you know, now that I'm looking at it, I love it because these birds, the mourning doves. I like the love on here, but let's see. I'll look at my sticker selection and see what I've got. That is another offering that could look okay with. I don't see anything that just strikes me as it looks better, you know, than that. And I'm probably being a little picky. Again, I can probably tell you what it is. It's a color thing for me. You know what? I need to not second guess myself. Just do it and don't be picky about it. Right? Okay. Tearing some more paper. Lost the ruler in all this mess. There it is. Okay. Tear off a few strips of this. So I've got something to work with. And we'll see how we want to do this one, because I know I want this here. And I'm not sure if I need the extra paper on this one. I just think it would look good because the belly band is going over here to have some of the same elements on the page. And I may do it a little different on here. I may do the torn part here on this one. I don't like that tore like a mountain there. I hate that when it does that and gets these little points on there. Okay. Let's try this. And it may only be, well, rub the whole thing down and then do the edges. It may only be this part that gets it. Okay, that's definitely going there. I thought I could really zoom through these pages. I didn't think it was going to be that much of a thing. Sorry about that. And I pretty much know that right below here is where I'm going to have to glue for this to hold that on. I'll go ahead and center it on there, but don't want it any more than that. So, and actually I'm going to pull it down a little bit because I like it on here a little bit. Look at it, see if it's straight. It looks pretty straight, I can't tell, but it looks good enough for me. And with this one, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do, I think what I'm going to do is use something with the book page that I put some writing paper on the back and fold it up and put in here. So with this one, I'm just going to glue it strictly down as a tuck. And I'll fill the journal last, and I'm not ready to do that yet. So for right now, I'm just going to do this here, this portion here, to kind of have that on there. Stand up where I can see what's going on, and that way I can kind of bring that over, and maybe I can bring this color in a little bit. This page is just going to be a belly band on this side, and then I've got something for the other. Okay. Now, I want to show you how I'm going to do this belly band. I'm going to kind of get it centered, and I'm going to use my, wherever it went, my scoreboard. I'm going to flip this over and kind of get it centered where I want it. See if it looks about even on the page. And you want to kind of, you know, I don't know how it needs to be centered, but I'm trying to center it between this and this. So I'm looking at from this edge to this edge. So about maybe right there. I'm going to take my pencil, and here on the edge, I'm going to mark this. I'm not cutting this off. what I'm going to do is lay this on my scoreboard where there's a line, and I'm going to score that straight down. And I'm going to do it again over here. I'm going to move it slightly, and I'm going to score it. And let me tell you why I'm doing this. If you glue the belly band down flat, and just the ends are here and here, sometimes it's hard to get things in and it's too tight and it pulls apart. If you make the belly band longer and bend it under, it gives it a little bit more give. And just gives it a little bit more give in there. See how it's going to be kind of up a little bit, and I can get things in there. So I'm going to ink that edge, and I had thought about putting a piece of lace behind here. I don't really want to. I think I'm happy with that just as is, like that. Just a belly band. And then I'll put some, fill it with some papers and stuff. I'm still not thrilled about that. That there bothers me. I don't know why. I think it's the yellow. But see, I thought that would kind of blend in with some of this. It probably needs a touch of pink. So I'm going to glue this down, and I'm going to clip this. This will have to be clipped until it's dry. Make sure I got around the edges. And upside down. Downside up. Okay, I think I want it about right there. And I'm going to have to get a little clip and clip that on. And I need a bigger clip for that side. Get it closed again. Something that'll have some reach. But when you do that, you're going to get a little bit more stretch out of your belly band. Okay? So is that straight? Let me make sure it looks pretty straight. Okay, so that's that side. So we've gotten this and this, and I'll come back to this. This is still, there's something about that, I don't know what. Okay, so now we're on this page. Oh, we didn't put the okay, why did I have this? Okay, I know what I was going to do with that. We didn't put the booklets in. You could either put the, tuck the booklets in, but I'm going to put the booklets in the pockets. I mean, in the envelopes. So they fit right down in my envelope, and then I can tuck that right behind. And maybe I'll come back and do some stamping. I don't know. Like I said, I like to go through it once and then come back to it, a time or two before I'm done. But I like to, do an initial thing and then, okay, I'm done. I figured that out. That's still a little wet. I'm not going to tuck that under. But that fills our envelopes.